Happy Halloween, ghost schools and gamers. Festival of the Lost is back and bigger than ever. This year has been a massive shakeup compared to our previous few years, adding a whole bunch of new cosmetics and 2 new game modes to play. A lot of people got worried after Solstice on how seasonal events are going to play in Destiny 2, alongside the new portal system. At first, people weren't happy that Solstice wasn't going to offer a new activity to play, but by the end of it, I think a lot of people came around and really enjoyed that event, mostly for the loot that it offered more than anything. But now that Festival of the Lost is back, let's see how it compares by looking at the good, the spooky, and the scary. Starting off with the good, Haunted Altars is the brand new mode added for this event. It's a fun but fairly basic twist on 2 modes we've already seen, being Onslaught and Altars of Sorrow. Overall, I think this mode is a lot more fun than the Haunted Lost sectors we've had in previous years, which I really haven't enjoyed. And I think it's been a bit too long for me to compare it to Haunted Forest. I really did like that mode, but I think if I were to compare it, a lot of that would just be bias. So as it stands by itself, Haunted Altars is pretty fun. Each run, you defend a ritual site from 3 waves of enemies, each wave adding a new spawn point to defend from. Killing enemies adds to the timer, whilst allowing enemies to reach the ritual site takes time away, just like Altars of Sorrow. Mini-bosses can often appear carrying a large bundle of treats, and once killed, players can dunk treats into the ritual site to earn currency and progress the wave. There are void crystals that can also be shot around the area, each one dropping a bundle of treats and a ritual weapon to use. Between each wave, players can spend their treats on upgradable defenses, just like Onslaught, and after the 3rd wave, all players head to the entrance of the Shadow Keep to fight the final boss. This mode takes the best aspects of both Onslaught and Altars of Sorrow and remixes them into a mode that is genuinely pretty fun, and these are the kind of modes I want to see more of in the future. Remixing content we already have into a new experience. I think Bungie is so obsessed with adding new game modes all the time, but like we saw with Ash and Iron, a new game mode doesn't always mean something people are going to enjoy. I think revitalizing stuff we're familiar with and already like into something brand new could be a more interesting approach for future updates. In addition to the new activity, we also have plenty of new loot, including weapons and cosmetics. Every day, random activities will be assigned bonus event loot drops, allowing you to earn weapons and masks outside of the main activity, which helps alleviate some repetition. If you don't want to grind Haunted Altars over and over again, you can jump back into the portal and play the content we're used to. There's plenty of cosmetics to unlock too, with some great ones in the event pass. The last few events, I've not really been interested in what their respective pass offers, but here I'm really vibing with a lot of it, especially that ship. I am very much looking forward to earning that. I just got the Ghost Shell as well, which is great. I love that this event is leaning far more into the Halloween and horror side recently. Speaking of, the armor is some of the best we've gotten out of an event ever. I especially love the Warlock and Hunter, but I think I'll try and grab all 3 if I can earn enough Bright Dust. These sets work really well as a all-together piece, but I also think there's individual parts that would work really well alongside some other armor sets, so they're offering a large amount of customization here. Just like Solstice, we've also got some new modifiers in the portal. At time of recording, I've only really seen 2, but I really liked both. One that I saw causes enemies to drop trick-or-treat pumpkins, which when destroyed will either drop throwable pumpkin grenades or scorching fireballs that track players down. It's pretty neat and very on theme for the event. The other modifier though is easily my favourite, putting cowboy hats on enemies. Killing an enemy with a headshot will cause the hat to drop, and you can pick it up and wear it, which will give you a damage buff. And the more hats you pick up, not only does that increase your damage buff, but it also increases the size of your cowboy hat, which is delightful. This modifier is so much fun and the exact kind of thing I was hoping we'd see added to the portal sooner. I can live with the trick-or-treat pumpkins being exclusive to the event, but I'd really like this hat modifier to become a mainstay in the portal. It really is something I'd love to see in more modes, and the exact kind of whimsy I think the portal needs right now. The Halloween masks return this year too, with new ones available to unlock via challenges. I'm usually not a fan of event-specific armor, as it can often ruin a lot of builds, especially with the new armor armor set bonuses. But this year we can choose which set to make the mask a part of, as long as you've previously earned the helmet from that set for that character. This is a really great system, and something I'd love to see implemented to exotic armor in the future, maybe as a bonus for tier 5 drops. This would also make event armor like Solstice and Iron Banner a lot more valuable even if you weren't able to earn the highest tiers. Moving on to the spooky portion, the not so great section, we've got a new PvP mode for the event. It's a small but fairly interesting change of pace for Rumble, basically just adding a headless one into the map for players to fight around. By itself, I don't think this activity is going to be enough to draw new players in, but it might be fun for people that already enjoy Rumble. The headless one feels more like an obstacle to avoid rather than something to shake up the map. Damaging it can drop loot and ammo, but you're more likely to get picked off by another player before you can get much use out of it. Overall, it seems better to stay away, which can lead some maps to feel even tighter than they already do. I think the game avoids spawning you too close to the headless one, which often causes you to spawn in the same area of the map over and over. I actually ended up spawn camping a guy a few times by accident because he just kept spawning round the corner from me. This mode can also drop the new weapons, which, speaking of, the weapons themselves don't feel as exciting as they did in Solstice. The SMG seems to have some very specific PvP builds, and the shotgun and bow might have some niche PvE roles, but overall, none of them are really as exciting as what we saw in Solstice, which can lead the grind itself to feel a bit lackluster and pointless. It's nice to have these cool new modes, but unless you're really enjoying them specifically, there's not a whole lot of a reason to play them outside of challenges and getting the 1 or 2 roles you might want. Like I said in the good section, I really enjoyed Haunted Altars overall, but I do have some issues. Each run basically plays out the same way every time, with the only variation being which ritual site you defend. Wave 1 is always Taken, Wave 2 is always Hive, and Wave 3 is always Dread, which in this mode is an especially good name for them. This doesn't feel too bad at first, but the more you run the mode, the more I crave some form of variation. Different enemies, a different order, even a different final boss or mechanic, literally anything. The Onslaught defenses are also in a bit of an awkward state. The mode is so short that you only get 2 chances to buy defenses and upgrades, so they don't really stick around too long for their impact to be felt. A big aspect of Onslaught was carefully deciding what defenses would be best to spend my points on, but since the points to buy them are abundant and the mode is so short, it doesn't really feel like it matters. The team will almost always buy and upgrade everything by Wave 3, and they don't stick around long enough for me to really notice they're there. Just like when Onslaught first launched, I think a longer version could be a really fun addition. One where the ritual site moves every 3 waves but your upgrades remain. But then again, this is only an event mode. While it would be nice to see it fleshed out a bit more, it's something we only have for a couple weeks anyway, and while I'd like to see more additions and changes to the mode in future years, I'd rather see that dev time go into more long-standing modes for the game. Lastly for this section, a little thing I noticed was that, just like in previous years, you can climb the 2 trees in the tower to earn some additional candy, which is a great way to get a head start in the event. I believe this resets weekly, so make sure you do it before Tuesday. That said, the reason this is in the spooky section is because I've heard from some people that the candy just doesn't spawn in for them. I don't know if they need to refresh the tower a couple times, but it really sucks that this isn't working for everyone. It could be a minor issue, I'm not too sure how many people this is affecting, nor do I think it's that big of a deal. Candy is fairly easy to earn just by playing, which is why this is only going in the spooky section. Finally, we have the scary section. A big problem I have with this event is that Bright Dust earn rates are still pretty bad. There's no reliable way to earn them infinitely, which is a shame because in previous years Ava offered repeatable bounties that you could complete to earn little bundles. It was a bit of a grind, but it felt possible to earn all the cosmetics I wanted to with enough playtime. But this year, earning that event armor is a lot more difficult if you didn't have Bright Dust saved up beforehand. While the daily and weekly rewards can offer a fair amount in the portal, there is essentially a cap to how much you can earn. And that's extra disappointing considering, like I said, how good these armor sets are. The last thing I have to say about this mode is definitely the worst part, which is that Haunted Altars has about 3 different softlock issues. I've had issues where the wave doesn't end, I've had issues where the boss becomes invincible and there's no way of breaking his shield, I've even had issues where nothing spawns in at all when first loading into the activity. I played a lot of this event in the first day, and with all of these issues combined, I would say at least half my runs ended with a soft lock, which really didn't feel great. Add on top of this the launch bug that is still in the game, and this mode becomes a slog. When it works, runs are fairly fast and fun to get through, but when one or more of these issues occur, suddenly it feels more like it's wasting my time. Bungie have addressed the soft locking issue and said that they are working on a fix, but at time of recording, they have not yet patched it. I will leave a pinned comment below explaining if that fix ever does come, but the launch bug has been an issue with the game for way too long now. I'm not sure exactly when it started, but it definitely became a lot more frequent after Edge of Fate launched. A lot of the time, it genuinely feels like Bungie doesn't want me to play Destiny, because waiting for the launch bug to resolve itself can take up to minutes at a time, which makes farming activities a lot more uninteresting, and that sucks when that's the main thing you do in an activity event. Bungie addressing the softlock issue is very nice, and like I said, I hope that fix comes sooner rather than later, but they still haven't given official word on this launch bug, and it's really starting to annoy me. It's such a shame too, because I think majority of this event is really strong, like I've shown in this video. I think the event is fun, and even if the PvP mode isn't for me, it's still nice to have something over nothing at all. But these issues just completely ruin it for me. If you're desperate to unlock all the new cosmetics and get the event pass done, I'd say it's probably still worth hopping in, as you can earn progress to those things even if you do get soft locked. But if you're looking to play specifically for loot, I really can't recommend this event until the softlock issues are fixed. And that's a shame. It is, in my opinion, the best Festival of the Lost event we've had in years, and the first few days have been completely ruined by a single issue. Real quick before I end this video, Bungie just announced that they will be extending Festival of the Lost by 1 week, now making it a 3-week event. I figured I'd mention this because while it doesn't directly tackle two of my main issues with the event, it does help alleviate them somewhat, as there is now more time to complete the event pass alongside more time to earn the cosmetics. Alongside this as well, Bungie also unveiled their new orders system coming with Renegades. This doesn't affect the event, but I still wanted to mention it because it does at least address my issue with Bright Dust, as this will be our new primary source of earning it. And while I don't want to go into a full discussion because this video is already about something else, I do at least want to say that it's a step in the right direction, Bungie, but I don't think the issue here has been fixed, it's just been given a new coat of paint. Every year, Bungie seems to be stepping away from bounties more and more, and every year it makes me wish we just had bounties again. This feels like the same issue we had with Pathfinder, which only lasted a year. But I guess we'll have to see how it feels once it officially launches, but those are just my initial thoughts on this new system. Despite these issues, if you have tried Festival of the Lost, I hope you're all having fun with it. Let me know in the comments what you think of it below. I'm really interested to see how other people are responding to this, and fingers crossed we get more seasonal events and activities like this in the future. But for now, hope you're having a great week, and I'll see you later.